No.
Good morning.
Good
morning.
Happy International Women's Day. It's good to see you on this delightful spring forward Sunday. Glad you made it. Glad I made it all the way from Shreveport. Started out in the dark. I invite you to get comfortable in your seats, and you might want to put aside anything that might be in your way and gently close your eyes as we go within to that sacred space within each and every one of us. Thank you, sweet Spirit, for this glorious day that in all that it entails, we seek joy and peace and love and compassion and understanding. And as we seek these things, we know that they will be part of our experience. We're so grateful for this church, for all those who come through those portals, and we just say, thank you, Father, Mother God, as we surround them with your love and your grace and your peace. We thank you that as we move about from place to place, we know that this is a blessing that is given to us freely, lovingly by thee. We do not take anything for granted. We know there are no small miracles, there are no big miracles, that all of life is a miracle, and for that we're grateful. So we thank you as we gather this day. May we embrace the love and the joy that is ours and know that all is in divine order. We are so grateful, and so it is. Amen. Our daily word that you saw on the screen a few moments ago reminds us that this is a day when we celebrate the divine feminine. The divine feminine blesses all people. Usually when we think of the word feminine, we think of women, girls, ladies with qualities such as gentleness and nurturing and delicacy. But the divine feminine is so much more. The divine feminine represents sacredness, intuitive energy, which is in all people, regardless of gender. The divine feminine is in both men and women. Did you know that inside of us are both male and female? The divine feminine and the divine masculine are like twin relationships. The divine feminine and the divine masculine are like twin relationships. That will show up repeatedly.
Okay.
Yes, there you go. So here are a few key aspects of the divine feminine, and we're going to put them up on the screen. And no, go back 1, 2.
The problem is it's automatically going. It's not stopping.
Okay, all righty. We'll.
So that's why I keep clicking it, because I'm trying to stop it from doing it automatically.
Okay.
It's going about 10 seconds and it's going.
Can you go back a frame to a few aspects of the divine feminine? Yeah, that's what I'd like you to see. Yeah, thank you so much. Because I want to
right there, so it goes automatically. See, you want to look at the screen, it goes automatically.
I understand.
I'm trying to stop it.
Sometimes these machines, this technology have a mind of its own, we know that. But I want to read the key aspect, and I want you to read what it says. One key aspect is intuitive guidance. Oh.
Turn it off.
Okay, intuitive guidance. Okay, listening to inner wisdom, healing emotional depth. Another key aspect of divine feminine is compassion and caring for self and others, communal harmony, receptivity, the ability to be rather than to do, allowing things to flow into one's life. Another aspect is creativity, artistic expressions, ideas go with the flow of life. Another aspect is practicing stillness, rest, meditation, and quiet inner reflection. And another is connecting with and spending time in nature. Those are a few key aspects of divine feminine. We'll just forget about the screen. If we can make it work, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't.
Okay, so I have it working now. Where are we in it?
Okay.
Where I can advance forward as you go. Do you know slide number? The frame number?
Go back up to the frame which we were talking about, the key aspects. And then you'll see, back up one more. Now, okay. Stay right there for a moment, okay? What I want to tell you is that I'm reading the Daily Word this week, and I do read it for Sunday, so if I'm going to be speaking, so I can kind of get an idea of what I want to speak about. So when I read the Daily Word this week, I thought about a woman who has blessed unity and the movement for more than 100 years. And it occurred to me that some of you might not know her story. So I thought it'd be appropriate on today's occasion to recognize this significant person who has gave us such a wonderful foundation in unity. And that is our co-founder, the Divine Feminine, Myrtle Fillmore. Okay, Myrtle Fillmore, before we begin, I'm going to tell you this story. I want to tell you, before I tell you about Myrtle Fillmore, I want to tell you a story in a story. This is the shortest book that I've ever read. And it goes like this. I walked down a path, not seeing a dog, who bit me. Chapter 2. I walked down a path pretending not to see a dog, who bit me. Chapter 3. I walked down a path, saw a dog, but let him bite me. Chapter 4. I walked down a path, saw a dog coming toward me, and ran away from the dog. Chapter 5. I walked down a different path. I found that so many of us are experts when it comes to expressing what we do not want in life, what is not going right, what we want to change. But if I ask, what do you really want? Most of us really don't know. Some may things such as, oh, I want perfect health, or I want prosperity, or I want peace of mind. But the question is, what are you doing to make that happen? What are you doing? Out of habit, we have walked down the path for so long. We know the dog is there. We know the size of his teeth. We know what the bite feels like. Yet, because it is a habit, because it is familiar, we do not change our path. In fact, each day we go about doing the same old thing over again and again and again, looking for different results. So today, I want to remind you and me, once again, that if we keep on doing what we've always done, we will keep on getting what we've always gotten. Would you say that? Look at your neighbor and say together, if we keep on doing
what we've always done, we will keep on getting what we've always gotten.
Now let's go back to our main story. We'll come back to this a little bit later. The main story is about a beautiful, frail, red-headed girl. Her name is Mary Caroline Page, who changed her path. She changed the path. She was born August 6, 1885 in Pagetown, Ohio. Mary Caroline was number 8 of 9 children born to Marcus and Lucy Wheeler Page, and was known as Mary Caroline to her mother, but Myrtle to her father. So finally, the name Myrtle just stuck, and everyone began to call her Myrtle. Myrtle became the co-founder of Unity. Myrtle's parents were deeply religious. They were faithful members of the Methodist Church. Myrtle never became a member of her parents' church. Even at an early age, she found the doctrine to be unacceptable in her own life. In fact, her older sister Jane left home because she didn't like the Methodists. She said, I don't believe in hell, and I won't belong to a church that preaches it. Now, although Myrtle agreed with her sister, she never voiced that out loud. She simply affirmed the truth of her soul, in her soul, those things that she could accept from the Methodist Church, and quietly denied all those parts that she could not accept. Myrtle's father, Marcus, was a farmer. He operated a general store, also served a term as a postmaster. Additionally, Marcus was a well-known abolitionist, assisting African Americans in their journey to freedom along the Underground Railroad, which extended all the way from the South up to Canada. Myrtle became ill at an early age with tuberculosis. So she grew up with the members of her family saying things that she's delicate, she must be protected, she must not overdo. After completing school, Myrtle attended Oberlin College in Oberlin, Ohio, where she became a licensed teacher. She secured that position. She secured the position shortly after that as a school teacher in Clinton, Missouri. However, due to her condition, she was advised by doctors to leave Missouri because of the dampness and the cold weather, which complicated her symptoms. And so she went to Denison, Texas, where she was instructed to go because at that time it was known as a place, like a kind of a resort for people who were in tuberculosis. So Myrtle went to Denison, Texas, and there she joined the Denison Literary Club. The doctor advised her not to teach. Now, Charles Fillmore, who comes from Minnesota, also came to Denison to seek his fortune. He was a member of the literary club as well. He and Myrtle became attracted right away, and they got married on August 29th, 1881. Two of their three sons were named for poets: Laurel Page Fillmore for James Russell Lowell, Waldo Rickett Fillmore for Ralph Waldo Emerson. They moved to Kansas City in 1884, and by the spring of 1886, it appeared that this was the end of her life for Myrtle Fillmore. She was not very well, but she, who had changed her path, was not about to give up. So together, she and Charles attended every health-oriented lecture that they could find in the city, in that whole area at that time. A lecturer by the name of Dr. E.B. Weeks from the Illinois Metaphysical College came to Kansas City. As Myrtle left that lecture that night, one sentence illumined her mind down to the depths of her soul. And she said, "I am a child of God, and therefore I do not inherit sickness." Slowly, she let this truth sink within her consciousness, and it took hold. All her life, she had been told that she had inherited tuberculosis from her parents, and that she was born to be ill. She was born to suffer, to die prematurely. Myrtle took in the new truth that she found on the new path, and she began to talk to her body, praising every cell. Days, weeks, months went by, and gradually she noticed some improvement. She would close herself in a room where she would study the four Gospels, the teachings of Jesus Christ. She would sit next to an empty chair, knowing that the Spirit of Jesus Christ was occupying that chair and was supporting her and encouraging her on her quest. Charles was startled by the change. He remarked that her health appeared to be improving. However, she was more adamant than that. She said, "I am healed, and you are too. We are one." Why did she tell him that? I'll tell you why. When Charles was about 10 years old, he was severely injured in ice skating. His right hip was dislocated and refused to respond to any kind of medical treatment. In fact, his right leg even stopped growing and it started to wither. It was 4 inches shorter than his left leg. It was so necessary for him to put a lift in his shoe so that they would be evenly balanced as he walked. Now let me insert here that about Charles. Together, they began a period of intensive prayer and study, both he and Myrtle. And Charles also noticed improvement in his own health, and his leg began to grow. And we are told by the time he made his transition that both legs were equally the same. Charles and Myrtle prayed, not only for themselves, but for their family and their friends. And the Unity movement began with the publication of a magazine called Modern Thought in April of 1889. Also during that year, a third son, Royal, was born. In April of 1890, Myrtle Fillmore announced the birth of silent unity. For more than 40 years, the silent unity and Myrtle Fillmore was virtually synonymous. So the prayer work began. Myrtle had a vision one day in which it seemed like a crowd of people was around her gathered. And in that number of people gathered, there were children. And some of them appeared to be undisciplined. And a voice in her head said, "Who will take care of the children?" And the answer also came within her, and it said, "You are to take care of the children. This is your work." So in 1893, a Sunday school was the first step. Then came the publishing of We Wisdom magazine. Anyone in here remember We Wisdom? Yes. We Wisdom magazine. I used to love that little book. Had all the little puzzles and stuff in it. Myrtle did not cook. Grandmother Mary Georgiana Fillmore did the cooking next door. If you ever go to the village, I highly recommend that you visit the Arches. The Arches is the name of the home built by son Rickett for his parents. And it does not have a kitchen because Myrtle didn't cook. Myrtle became a vegetarian in 1895, saying, "I will not eat no murdered thing." This became her philosophy concerning food during that time, and that lasted the last 30 years of her life. Now, Myrtle had a sense of humor, which can be attested to in words in an autograph book that she wrote in. How many remember autograph books? Autograph books was a high school thing back in the day, okay? And many people had autograph books where they write little statements to their friends. One of her workers, she wrote in the autograph book, "My one extravagance," what? Say it. "My petty economy,
Saving my breath.
my unacknowledged fear,
Pointless conversation.
my unconfessed weakness,
Cookies.
my secret sorrow,
A lazy hand.
my motto,
Keep everlasting as is.
my favorite dish,
A dinner earth where love is.
my favorite beverage,
Adam's ale.
my unlucky day,
One of fruitless effort.
my favorite superstition,
A man is bound by the thoughts he keeps.
my mascot."
Omnipotent courage.
She also wrote a lot of letters and poems. And one of my favorite poems that she wrote is entitled My Faith. So would you read this one also together?
I do not believe in evil. I believe in good. I do not believe in sin. I believe in truth. I do not believe in want. I believe in abundance. I do not believe in death. I believe in life. I do not believe in ignorance. I believe in intelligence. There are no discords in my being. Being is peace. My faith, understanding, and love are becoming one. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder.
In the late summer of 1931, Myrtle Fillmore came to the realization that her work on this place of existence was nearing an end. She confined this conviction to several close friends and family members. On the Wednesday before her death, she helped her husband lead the Wednesday night service. On Thursday, she was at her desk in the Unity office writing letters and receiving calls. She was in a very relaxed and happy mood when she spent the weekend resting and writing. Friday and Saturday, she walked around the grounds, sat on the porch, and listened to the song of the birds in the nearby orchard. She even helped pick a few apples. On Sunday, she had visitors and told them about her intention to die in a day or so. On Tuesday, October 6, 1931, at peace with herself, with God and with family, and thousands of friends. At age 86, she quietly slipped into the next dimension. As children of God, you and I must claim our good. As we claim these things, we're going to demonstrate exactly what we are claiming. That is, if we claim for ourselves, whatever we claim for ourselves will eventually come to true in our life. Claim it, and it will be. As we walk a different path, problems fall at our feet, and we become much happier. We become joy-filled. Like Myrtle Fillmore, choose your path carefully. Insist on peace of mind. Insist on health. Insist on happiness. Insist on love. These are God's will for us, you know. And now I want to put a new ending to my inserted story of the shortest book in the world. This is how I'm going to end it. Chapter 6. I realize my oneness with God, and I will no longer walk down the path of the dog. Chapter 7. With God inside me, at my side, at the back of me, in front of me, and the very foundation for my feet, I will walk a different path. Chapter 8. I discovered that all that I ever wanted was inside me all the time. The end. God bless you. God bless all divine feminine on this International Women's Day. And I say to you, namaste.
Namaste.